In the quiet hush of night, when the world is still and your breath softens, ... Ancient stories awaken whispers from long-forgotten lands. Tonight, let's step gently into the river of time, exploring 50 calming truths about history and civilizations. Close your eyes, let go of the day's weight, drift into a world where the past gently cradles you to sleep. Beneath the shimmering desert moon, the great pyramids of Egypt rise like timeless guardians of history. For over 4,500 years, they have stood watch through wind and silence. Their massive stones holding echoes of ancient prayers and whispered dreams. Each block, carefully placed by human hands, weighs as much as 15 tons. Can you imagine the hum of ancient workers, their hearts steady and focused under the same stars we see tonight? Now breathe slowly. Feel the weight of time settle, gently and calm. IV. Far to the east, where the Tigris and Euphrates rivers flow, a cradle of life once flourished, the Sumerians, creators of the first known civilization. With delicate hands, they pressed wedge-shaped symbols into soft clay, giving birth to writing. Simple marks, yet profound, holding stories of love, war, trade, and dreams. These fragile tablets, sleeping beneath layers of earth, still whisper, as if the ancient world leans close to tell its tale. High in the misty mountains of China, a wall of stone snakes across the land, the Great Wall. Over 21,000 kilometers of human effort, stone upon stone, winding through valleys and ridges, was built to protect, but it also carried the footsteps of travelers, merchants, and soldiers, weaving their hopes into its endless path. Feel the cool breeze brushing across its ancient stones, the hush of centuries settling deep into your chest. A connection between you and 1,000 forgotten journeys. In the heart of Babylon, a dream once rose skyward, the Hanging Gardens, a living tapestry of green and gold, crafted to soothe a queen's homesick heart. Picture vines cascading from terraces, delicate flowers swaying in the warm breeze, the scent of jasmine and myrrh filling the air. Though no trace remains, the idea of a floating paradise still shimmers in the imagination, like a dream you can almost touch. By the shining sea in Alexandria, a beacon of wisdom once stood the great library. A treasure trove of scrolls and manuscripts, gathering the knowledge of the known world, one fragile page at a time. Imagine quiet scholars by lamplight, their fingers brushing ancient texts, their eyes tracing the words of poets and philosophers long gone. Though the library is lost, its spirit lingers in every whisper of knowledge we seek today. Deep in the lush jungles of Central America, the Maya gazed skyward, their eyes tracing the movements of the stars with astonishing precision. Their calendar intricate, beautiful, followed the pulse of the universe, guiding them through cycles of time and spirit. Picture a still night, clear and bright, as Mayan priests silently watch the heavens, feeling the deep hum of connection between Earth and cosmos. Rising proudly from the Persian plateau, Persepolis stood as a testament to vision and artistry. Its grand halls and soaring columns, carved with care, told stories of kings, warriors, and mythic creatures. Even in its quiet ruins, the city holds a breath of majesty and echo of an empire's dreams that once reached toward the sky. Let your breath slow, and imagine walking among those ancient stones, tracing the delicate carvings with your fingertips. In ancient Greece, where olive trees swayed under blue skies, the Olympic Games were born. Every 4 years, athletes gathered testing strength, skill, and spirit beneath the bright sun of Olympia. The crowds cheered, the earth trembled, and a celebration of human potential unfolded. That spirit of unity and challenge still lives on, a golden thread connecting us to those ancient fields. Hidden high among the mist-shrouded peaks of Peru, the ancient city of Machu Picchu rests in quiet majesty. Stone paths twist through lush terraces, temples rise toward the clouds. The Inca built not just with stone, but with vision. Their city designed to touch both earth and sky. Close your eyes and picture yourself stepping softly through its ancient corridors, feeling the heartbeat of a civilization long past. And far away, floating between history and legend, lies Atlantis, a grand civilization, rich and powerful, said to have vanished beneath the waves in a single day and night. Though no trace remains, its story ripples through time. A reminder that no empire, no matter how mighty, can resist the quiet pull of eternity. Far across the sands of Peru, Mysterious lines stretch out across the Earth's giant, geoglyphs etched by the ancient Nazca people. From the ground, they seem like simple paths. But from the sky, shapes of animals and symbols emerge, vast and precise. Imagine standing there, feeling the silence of the desert, as if the earth itself is speaking through ancient art. In ancient Persia, healing was a sacred art. The first hospitals, places of care and recovery rose from this land, where wisdom and compassion walked hand in hand. Picture the quiet rooms filled with the soft scent of herbs, as healers whispered words of comfort to those seeking rest and renewal. Tucked within the grand empire of the Achaemenids stood Persepolis, a city of splendor and pride. Intricate bas-reliefs told stories of people from many lands, united under one rule, bringing gifts of gold, silk, and spices. Even now, as the wind brushes across broken columns, the stories carved in stone still breathe life into the ancient world. To the west, in Greece, democracy was born, a bold idea that every citizen could have a voice. Picture the bustling agora, filled with debate and passion, where decisions that shaped the course of history were made under open skies. In a time when wonders filled the world, a temple rose in Ephesus, the Temple of Artemis. Its grand marble columns gleamed in the sunlight, a tribute to the goddess of the hunt and moon. Imagine walking its cool halls, shadows dancing across the stone, feeling the quiet reverence of worshippers who came seeking her grace. Long ago in Olympia, the very first Olympic Games brought together athletes from across the Greek world. They ran, wrestled, and competed not for gold, but for glory and the simple honor of a laurel crown. The roar of the crowd, the pounding of feet on earth, echoes of a celebration of human strength that still lives today. In Egypt, a giant figure watches over the desert, the great Sphinx of Giza, with the body of a lion and the face of a king. It has gazed into the horizon for millennia, a silent sentinel guarding ancient mysteries. Imagine standing before it, feeling its immense presence, the desert wind carrying whispers of forgotten ages. Far from the deserts, in ancient Persia, a network of couriers once raced across the empire's swift riders who carried messages from city to city. This was the world's first postal system, connecting distant lands through speed and trust. Feel the rush of hooves, the urgency of news traveling fast across mountains and plains. In the heart of Mesopotamia, a grand city once stood Babylon. Its gates, adorned with dazzling blue tiles, welcomed travelers and traders into a world of wonder. Picture the vibrant streets filled with the scents of incense and spices, as merchants and poets shared stories beneath the golden sun. And long before matches or lighters, humanity unlocked a power that would change everything's fire. The first spark, born from friction and stone, brought warmth, protection, and light. Close your eyes and imagine the awe of that first flame. Flickering in the dark, a tiny beacon that would forever guide us forward. In the shadowed temples of ancient Egypt, healing was both science and magic. Skilled physicians, using herbs and rituals, worked to balance the body and spirit. Imagine the quiet murmur of prayers, the soft touch of careful hands. As ancient wisdom sought to mend broken bodies and soothe troubled souls, gazing into the heavens, the early Greeks crafted simple tools to watch the stars, primitive yet powerful. Their first telescopes opened windows to the cosmos. Picture them standing on quiet hillsides at night, tracing constellations across the velvet sky, wondering what secrets the universe might reveal. In Persia, long before modern universities, a center of learning blossomed Gund, Dishapur. Here scholars from every corner of the world gathered, sharing knowledge of medicine, philosophy, and astronomy. Close your eyes and imagine the hush of grand halls filled with scrolls, the low hum of voices exchanging timeless wisdom. Far across the Andes, the Inca mastered the art of building bridges not with stone or iron, but with woven grasses and vines. These delicate, swaying rope bridges linked valleys and people, suspended high above roaring rivers. Feel the gentle creak of fibers beneath your feet. The courage and skill it took to cross from one world to another. High in the Peruvian mountains, Machu Picchu, Rizeza city, lost to time. Built with perfect stonework, aligned with the stars, it remains one of history's greatest mysteries. Breathe in the cool mountain air and let your mind wander through its quiet terraces and sacred temples, where the past still lingers like mist. In tales whispered across the ages, Atlantis stirs the imagination, a city of power and beauty, lost beneath the sea. Though its true fate remains a mystery, its legend reminds us how fragile even the mightiest civilizations can be, and how the ocean holds its secrets close. In the heart of Olympia, the grand statue of Zeus once towered, a masterpiece of ivory and gold. Seated upon his throne, majestic and calm, he watched over the games and the world below. Imagine the awe of stepping into that temple, your eyes lifting to meet the gaze of a god sculpted by human hands. Along the banks of the Nile, Egyptians perfected the art of daily care. They crafted the first toothpaste, blending natural ingredients like ash and crushed eggshells to keep their smiles bright. Picture the quiet ritual of morning routines, the timeless desire for health and beauty echoing across millennia. In Rome, the mighty Colosseum stood as a monument to entertainment and empire. 50,000 spectators once filled its grand arena, their cheers rising like thunder as gladiators faced their fate. Feel the weight of history in its silent arches today, a reminder of both human glory and human cost. And far to the east, the Indus Valley civilization thrived in cities like Harappa, where clean water flowed through advanced drainage systems, and orderly streets wove through a world of peace and prosperity. Imagine walking those ancient avenues, the hum of daily life all around you. Civilization ahead of its time, quietly sophisticated. In the soft embrace of dusk, ancient Greece would gather beneath open skies, not in temples or palaces, but in theaters carved into hillsides, where shadows danced and voices soared. Here, stories came alive of love, war, gods, and fate, told by candlelight and echo. Imagine the rustle of linen robes, the silence just before the first line is spoken, the power of a shared story carried on the breeze, settling gently into the hearts of those who listened. Beneath the parched lands of ancient Persia, water moved in silence. Invisible to the eye, it flowed through deep hand-dug channels called Kanot's life tunneled through stone. They carried cool water across deserts, nourishing orchards, villages, and dreams. Close your eyes. Feel the slow rhythm of that water trickling patiently through the earth, sustaining life drop by drop. In the quiet green fields of England, a circle of stone has stood for thousands of years, Stonehenge. Its pillars rise like sentinels of time, marking the path of the sun and moon, perhaps of spirits long gone. Imagine the soft morning mist clinging to the stones, the hush of a world watching the sky in wonder. No one knows exactly why it was built, but in that mystery, beauty lives. Once near the warm shores of Italy, life in Pompeii moved with color and laughter until the sky turned dark. Mount Vesuvius erupted, and in moments a city was silenced. But beneath the ash, time stood still. Streets, homes, even bread in ovens, all preserved untouched, like a breath held forever. Walk softly there, in your mind, among shadows of people frozen in their final day. Long before banks and bills, in the land of Lydia, something small and round changed the world. Coins gleaming, clinking, stamped with symbols, made trust and trade portable. Picture the moment someone first held one. The weight of value in their palm. Quiet revolution, born not of war, but of exchange, balance, and shared worth. In the heart of the Maya world, deep among jungles and stars, a single sacred shape emerged, a circle. Nothing, zero, a number that meant emptiness, potential, a beginning. They gave meaning to absence and, through it, unlocked the universe. Let your breath slow. The silence between thoughts be something, not nothing. In a candlelit chamber in ancient China, alchemists searched for elixirs of life. Instead, they found a spark in powder. Born from dreams of eternity, it became a force of transformation, both creative and destructive. Imagine that first spark, the sizzle, the sudden heat, the unknowable future glowing in a shallow bowl. Roman roads were more than paths, they were promises. Stone by stone, they stretched across continents, linking cities, people, and empires. Even now, some still carry footsteps. Picture the dust rising behind a traveling merchant or a soldier returning home. Each road a ribbon of memory winding through the land. In the sacred temples of Egypt, language took shape in art. Hieroglyphs, more than writing, were symbols of spirit, of eternity. Over 700 images carved into stone and painted on papyrus, telling tales of gods, rituals, and everyday joys. Imagine the steady hand of a scribe, dipping a reed into ink, pressing knowledge into time. And finally, in the vast and varied landscape of Persia, they built bridges, not just of stone, but of ideas, cultures, and dreams. Arch by arch, they rose across rivers and valleys, elegant in their simplicity, powerful in their purpose. Stand upon one now, in your mind. The wind on your face, the murmur of water far below, and the echo of footsteps that came long before yours. In the bright sun of ancient Egypt, time was measured by shadows. The world's first sundials, simple, graceful, tracked the slow dance of light and dark. Picture the sun's rays creeping across smooth stone, marking each passing hour with quiet precision, reminding all that time, like the river flows endlessly. Far to the east, in the cradle of civilization, a king named Hammurabi carved justice into stone. His laws, the first written code of structure and fairness, a promise of order in a chaotic world. Imagine the cool touch of that carved stone, the weight of every rule, binding people together through shared understanding. The Aztecs, bold and brilliant, built an empire in the heart of what is now Mexico. Their temples rose to the skies, their warriors danced beneath the sun, and their cities thrived with life and color. Close your eyes and feel the beat of drums echoing through the jungle. A heartbeat of a civilization still felt today. In the sands of Karnak, Egypt's greatest temple complex stretched toward the heavens. Its vast halls and towering pillars were carved with stories of gods and kings, of creation and eternity. Imagine walking slowly through its shadowed corridors, the cool stone beneath your feet, the hush of ancient prayers lingering in the air. The Egyptians, masters of numbers, pioneered the decimal system we still use today. 10 fingers, 10 symbols, language of counting that crossed centuries and continents. Let your mind drift to those first calculations, simple, yet profound building blocks of the world we know now. In China, the shimmer of silk began a journey that would weave the world together. Discovered over 5,000 years ago, silk's delicate strength carried dreams, trade, and beauty from east to west. Picture a single thread, soft and gleaming, connecting empires, cultures, and hearts across oceans and deserts. The Parthians of ancient Persia were masters of the horse, their archers famed for their deadly skill. Riding fast and free, they could turn and shoot even as they galloped away, warriors of elegance and power. Feel the rush of wind, the thunder of hooves, and the sharp twang of a bowstring releasing into history. The Egyptians believed the heart, not the brain, was the seat of thought and emotion. In their rituals, the heart was sacred, weighed against a feather to judge a soul's worth. Imagine the quiet of that sacred ceremony, where truth and purity were measured in the balance of eternity. On ancient maps, drawn by Babylonian hands, the world took its first shape, simple, symbolic, yet full of wonder. These maps, etched onto clay, showed rivers, mountains, and lands both known and dreamed. Picture a scholar leaning close, tracing those lines by firelight, imagining worlds far beyond their reach. And through it all, ancient civilizations lifted their eyes to the night sky. Stars, moons, and planets guided their journeys, their harvests, and their hopes. Breathe in, feel the vastness of the universe above you, the same stars watched by pharaohs, emperors, and dreamers long gone. And now, as you lie still, breathing gently, know that these stories, though ancient, are part of you. Every whisper of stone, every flicker of fire, every path carved through the ages has led in some quiet way to this moment. Let the past cradle you softly tonight. Rest easy, knowing that you are connected to the endless, beautiful flow of history. Sleep well, and dream of the worlds that came before.